Hi, welcome to Learn English and Practice with Marie. Today we're going to do Advanced Vocabulary Builder lesson number 68. We'll go through 10 advanced words and we'll talk about their definitions, parts of speech, and a couple of example sentences. We'll finish with a story and a quick review. This is a series, so if you like this, please subscribe for more. Let's get going. First, listen to me read the words. Privation, acclimate, pernicious, accede, transgress, hiatus, insolent, heretical, implore, decimate. Privation. This means a state in which things that are essential for human well-being, such as food and warmth, are scarce or lacking. It's a noun. So being in a state of privation is a bad thing. It means you're struggling for survival. You don't have adequate shelter. You don't have access to food and water and the things that are essential to survive. A context where this is the case that is from a television show is in The Walking Dead. The characters on the show who aren't zombies are in a state of privation. They're struggling to get the essentials that they need to survive. Examples are privation often leads to a deeper appreciation for the things we once took for granted. During wartime, many people experience privation of basic necessities due to scarcity. Acclimate. This means become accustomed to a new climate or to new conditions. It's a verb. So to acclimate to something is to get used to it, to become comfortable with your new context or surroundings. When you buy a goldfish, you need to put it in a little baggie of water that it's used to, and then put it in its tank in the baggie so that it can acclimate to the new water temperature and its new environment before you take it out of its little bag. So that's just one example of acclimating, but I know right now where I live, it's very cold. So it's hard to acclimate from the temperature in the home to outside because it is freezing. It is so cold. Examples are, it takes time to acclimate to a new climate, especially when transitioning from a cold region to a hot one. Animals often need time to acclimate to changes in their habitats or new surroundings. Pernicious. This means having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way. It's an adjective. So this word pernicious will refer to something that's an annoyance or relatively minor. It doesn't refer to something that's deeply hurtful or harmful. So if you have something that's an inconvenience, for example, the train running off schedule, that's a pernicious problem. It's recurring, it's ongoing, and it makes you ever so slightly late for work every day. That's something that could be described as pernicious. Examples are, gossip can be pernicious, causing harm to reputations and relationships. The pernicious effects of smoking on one's health are well documented. Accede. This means to agree to a demand, request, or treaty as a verb, or to assume an office or position as a verb. So with that first meaning, if there's a kidnapping, the negotiators might accede to the demands of those who took the hostages, to the kidnappers. Or with the second meaning, the King of England recently acceded the throne. He took that position of power in the British monarchy. Examples are, after much deliberation, the committee finally acceded to the demands of the protesters. The board of directors will accede to the shareholders' suggestions for corporate restructuring. Transgress. This means to violate, go over a limit. It's a verb. So this is another word that I learned from a prayer as a child. And in that prayer, the idea of transgressions or transgressing or to transgress is something we should avoid and be apologetic for, because transgressing is definitely not a good thing. and you definitely don't want to transgress against any sort of reasonable moral principle or law. Examples are: laws are in place to deter individuals from transgressing against the rights of others. Students must not transgress against the school's code of conduct. Hiatus. This means a pause or gap in a sequence, series, or process. It's a noun. So you might notice that I took a hiatus from this channel. I originally was going to be off the channel for a couple weeks, but it ended up being about another month longer before I picked up on videos again. And I took that hiatus to care for some important family matters, but that's just an example. I took a little leave from the channel and now I'm back. Typically, with a hiatus, the person who's taking the hiatus returns after that. So it's not a permanent thing. Examples are: the band decided to take a hiatus from touring, focusing on their new album. Due to financial constraints, the project is currently on hiatus until further funding is secured. Insolent. This means showing a rude and arrogant lack of respect. It's an adjective. I learned this word in the musical The Phantom of the Opera, where the Phantom refers to Raoul as an insolent boy. And this is an insulting way to refer to someone. It's this idea that he's rude, he's arrogant. So the Phantom's saying, I really don't like Raoul. And if you've seen the musical, you might agree. I personally also hate Raoul. Examples are: the insolent behavior towards his superiors led to frequent reprimands at work. The teenager's insolent remarks to her parents resulted in a grounding. Heretical. This means believing in or practicing religious heresy, as an adjective, holding an opinion at odds with what is generally accepted, as an adjective. So this idea of heretical definitely has religious roots. You can use the word heretic to refer to someone who goes against a particular religious doctrine. And there are periods in history where individuals were identified as heretics and murdered and tortured by major religious institutions and those who follow them. So definitely a dicey part of history. But also, you can use this word more loosely without religious connotations by saying that someone's heretical because they're going against the grain, they're going against popular opinion. Examples are: the scientists proposed a heretical theory that challenged the fundamental principles of physics. Writing a heretical article questioning established religious doctrines stirred intense debates among scholars. Implore. This means to beg someone earnestly or desperately to do something. It's a verb. So to implore someone is to ask them with a lot of spirit and to beg them and just to try to get them to do something in almost an act of desperation. So if I was starving, I might implore someone to give me some food, because without it, I would be suffering and my health would be at risk. Potentially, I would die. So I would be imploring someone to give me that food. Examples are: she would implore her children to be cautious when crossing the busy street. The citizens gathered to implore the government to take action on climate change. Decimate. This means to destroy or drastically reduce in numbers. It's a verb. So to decimate something is to destroy it, to get rid of it, to annihilate or eliminate something. And you definitely don't want to see this word used in the context of referring to people, but in one of these examples, you'll see war has the potential to decimate populations. So that is a really depressing usage of the word. Examples are: the war had the power to decimate entire communities, leaving destruction in its wake. The virus outbreak had the potential to decimate the population if not contained swiftly. So Let's read through a story for some extra practice so we can hear the words in context. In a prestigious boarding school, young Thomas grappled with privation after his parents' divorce. Trying to acclimate to his new surroundings, he faced pernicious challenges fitting in with his peers. One day, urged by his friends, Thomas decided to accede to their dare to sneak out during the school's nightly hiatus. As they wandered, mischief brewed within them, leading to transgressions against the school's rules. Caught by a vigilant teacher, the headmaster reprimanded them for their insolent behavior, labeling their actions as heretical to the institution's principles. With regret in his eyes, Thomas implored for a second chance, knowing his actions could decimate his academic future. Despite his remorse, the headmaster, unwilling to tolerate such behavior, decided on severe consequences, signaling Thomas's expulsion. In a whirlwind of emotions, Thomas realized the repercussions of his impulsive actions and the necessity to reassess his choices for a more promising future. Let's review these words. I'll go through them pretty quickly. Privation. Privation. This is where things that are essential for human well-being, like food and warmth, are scarce. Acclimate. Acclimate. This means to become accustomed to a new climate or new conditions. Pernicious. Pernicious. This is having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way. Accede. Accede. There are two meanings. First, to agree to a demand, request, or treaty, or to assume an office or position. Transgress. Transgress. This is to violate or go over a limit. Hiatus. Hiatus. This is a pause or a gap in a sequence, series, or process. Insolent. Insolent. This is showing a rude and arrogant lack of respect. Heretical. Heretical. This is believing in or practicing religious heresy, or it could be holding an opinion that's at odds with what is generally accepted. Implore. Implore. This is to beg someone earnestly or desperately to do something. Decimate. Decimate. This is to destroy or drastically reduce in numbers. So, let's read through these words one last time before wrapping up. Privation, acclimate, pernicious, accede, transgress, hiatus, insolent, heretical, implore, decimate. Great job today. There are more videos like this on this channel, and there will be more coming soon. I'll put playlists and videos right down here, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks so much. Bye.